Okay, so now let's see, is the inside there, is the brain similar in the sheep as it is in the human? It is. So we're going to look at how the telencephalon comes back on top of the diencephalon and the rest of the brain. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to sort of split these hemispheres, and just like in the human, there's a right telencephalic hemisphere and a left telencephalic hemisphere, and so we can look down, and when we look down, what are we looking at? We're looking at the corpus callosum, that connection between the two sides. So I'm going to cut that. Look at how it's cutting. Look at how it's cutting. Ooh, you can see that it's cutting. Okay. So then look at this. I can peel this back, and what do I see? I see midbrain and diencephalon. Look at that. And all I can do, I can basically rip this off, and what I've ripped off is the telencephalon. I'm going to make a couple of cuts here. Okay. So this is, remember we saw the telencephalic cap a few times ago? I'll figure out what that video is called, but this is the sheep's telencephalic cap. So it's not as big as a telencephalic cap in a human, but it's none too shabby when you consider that this is the whole, that this is the whole brain, right? So that's the whole brain, that's the telencephalic cap. And what do we have? We have this, which is the diencephalon. This is all diencephalon. We have this, which is midbrain, and this is actually the second really surprising thing that I learned about a sheep. Look at this structure. This structure is the superior colliculus. Don't stop recording there, Soul. We're going to just look at a superior colliculus in a mid-sagittally cut human brain. Here's a superior colliculus in the sheep. Here is the superior colliculus in a human. I would actually say that the sheep superior colliculus looks bigger. I think that's very bizarre. I do not understand that, but that's a fact. Okay. So there's the superior colliculus. Superior colliculus is very important for orienting movements. I don't think of sheep as very orienting type of animals, but there you go. So this is the superior colliculus. It's part of the midbrain. And remember this, our friend, our non-neural friend? This is the pineal gland. And you can see that this, if this pineal gland started to grow, it would start to press down. And right underneath here is part of the ventricular system that could get clogged. And so, so this is a dangerous thing because it could grow and increase intracranial pressure. That would be a problem. It can also grow and press down and block the flow of cerebrospinal fluid and thereby create hydrocephalus. So that's pineal gland. This is the superior colliculus back here. This thing here is the inferior colliculus. If we turn it over, we see spinal cord, medulla, here's the pons. And just like the hemispheres of the cerebellum are small, the pons is small. Let's compare the pons of the human. I guess I should orient it the same way. So in this thing right here is the pons. That whole bulbous mass here is the pons, and you see that it's feeding right into the cerebellum. Here's pons, it's going right into the cerebellum. Here is Here is pons, and it's also going right into the cerebellum. Do you see that? Okay. So in front of pons is midbrain. Here's the midbrain. These are the oculomotor nerves that control voluntary movement of the eyelid, plus a lot of eye movements, including all the vertical eye movements. And then in front of that is diencephalon. What we're looking at here is hypothalamus, and then back up here is thalamus.